Coming.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mario Linhares, and this is the SIPS of Science. This is episode 20, and we're getting really close to the big show, to SIPS, to Sustainable Industrial Processing Summit that will take place in Phuket from the 27th of November to the 1st of December. And today we're going to be talking about the Alario Franco International Symposium on Solid State Chemistry. And well, I have the honor of having today Dr. Rodrigo Martins, and with me we are going to have also Dr. Florian Kongoli. So we are going right to the show. We'd like to start to ask you to just leave a like here on the video, leave your comments, and it's very important to have you with us. Thank you very much for your audience. Hi, everybody. I'm back. I'm Mario Linhares, and I have the honor of having with me here Dr. Florian Kongoli on my right from Montreal. Hello, Dr. Florian. I believe now it's a little earlier in Montreal than usual. What time is it there?
It's 5 p.m., 15 degrees Celsius.
5 p.m., 15 degrees Celsius. I'm speaking from Cabo Frio in the state of Rio de Janeiro. Here, the temperature is 24 degrees. And I've got Dr. Rodrigo Martins. Hello, doctor. Where are you speaking from?
I'm speaking from Lisbon, so 22.5.
Very good.
Degrees centigrade.
Very good. So, what time is it in Lisbon right now?
22.
So it's 10 p.m. in Lisbon. It's 5 p.m. in Montreal and 7 p.m. here in Brazil, in the coast of Rio de Janeiro. Well, we are going to be talking, as I said, about the Alario Franco International Symposium on Solid State Chemistry for Applications and Sustainable Development. And I have the honor of having two great specialists here because Dr. Florian Kongoli has a PhD in materials, chemistry and materials, right, Dr. Florian? Dr. Florian?
Yes, correct. I hear you. Yes.
You hear me? Go ahead.
Yes. So.
Yes, I think there is a little delay on your voice. Can you hear me well, Dr. Florian?
I hear you very well. I hear you
very
well.
Good. So I was confirming you have a PhD on chemistry and materials, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Exactly. So and you are the chair, and Dr. Rodrigo is the co-chair of the event. But before we start about the symposium, I would like to talk to SIPS specifically. So we are 17 days away from SIPS, Dr. Florian. What can we expect from the largest event on sustainability through science and technology in the world?
Well, the SIPS, Sustainability Through Science and Technology, or Sustainable Industrial Processing Summit, follows the Flogen Sustainability Framework. So many people know about this already, but basically it is a new definition of sustainability framework because it used to become so confused in literature, the concept. In 1992, when it was defined for the first time in Rio de Janeiro, nobody knew about this. Now it's become popular, but everybody is putting in the definition everything they hold dear. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has some passion, and he wants to include the definition of sustainability. But we are putting pears and apples in one basket, and this way the definition became so confusing, and nobody knows what's really sustainability is about. Why? Because the criteria with actors, with goals, were mixed up together in one basket without any criteria. So that's why we divide the criteria with actors and pillars. So again, sustainability, it is a simultaneous achievement of three things. It's very important, the word simultaneous. If we forget one, forget about the others, we are not sustainable. So If we take care of about environment only and forget about the quality of human life and forget about the economic growth, we are not sustainable. If we deal only with economic growth and we forget about the quality of life of people and environmental protection, we are not sustainable, and so on. So, in order to be sustainable, we have to fulfill the three criteria at the same time. But again, these are only three criteria. The actors are totally different. The actors are not part of the definition. The actors are some factors that can hinder or help sustainability. And we simplify it in three. And in all these three factors or actors are included everything you have in life. So, but they are equally important, but there is also and is an order of precedence also. So first of all, for us is science and technology. This is the first actor, the first goal, the first pillar of sustainability. And if you see there, it's a table with three pillars. So anyone goes down, the whole structure goes down. But you have to start from science and technology because science and technology give solutions. Then the equally important pillars is governance and management. Why? Because you have to create the right legal, political framework to develop the science, to find the solution, and to manage things. However, government without science has very limited possibilities. So the whole thing, anything they can do is just, cut the energy used like they are doing in Germany now, or cut the water, or cut the plastic bags, which are good things. Are nothing. I'm not against them, but the reach is very limited. The efficiency and is very limited because only science gives the solution. Government role to achieve sustainability without science, forget it. On the other side, the equally important pillar it is education. It is education and civil society. We need that to prepare the future scientists and engineers to achieve sustainability. So there are three equally important pillars or actors. They have to cooperate each other. Are equally important. Any one of those goes down, the whole structure goes down, and we don't even have sustainability. But the order of precedence is science and technology because it gives solutions. Now here, Professor Rodrigo has dealt with all his life with materials, with electronic and materials. So basically, he falls in those three pillars. First, he is research. He does research on a regular basis, so it's science and technology. Second, he's a professor at university, preparing, so he's an education pillar, prepare the young generation in science and technology. But on the other side, he has been dealing with governance, not in the political side yet, probably, but on the society, on the scientific society level. He has been president of European Science Academy and in various different organizations. So he is a representative of these three pillars, equally important pillars of sustainability. And now, why we're speaking about materials and properties and solid state chemistry is a very general concept. It includes everything. As long as it is solid, it's not in liquid state. And it includes everything, electronics, like Professor Rodrigo's specialty. It includes all sorts of materials. It includes many, many things. The key point is that in order to have anything today, you have to have rockets to go to a different planet. You have to have a car that their allies spend less energy. You have electronics that spend less energy. That is specialty of Professor Rodrigo. So Rodrigo Martin. So these new materials, the properties of new materials come from the structure, from the molecular structure, from electronic structure, and you name it. So properties follow the structure, but has not been seen yet as a in a sustainability in a sustainability point of view. For example, just short, we have included the concept of sustainability in the material science, in the paradigm of material science. For example, prior to that, if you can see, I think you have some graphs there. there was a link between central paradigm of material science and engineering. So as it was defined in 1997, is from you see you have a processing, you have structure, you have properties, and then you have performance. And this here was missing a link. So that was good, but it was missing a link, the sustainability link. And then we developed it further: processing, structure, property, performance, and recyclability or reutilization. We developed this in 2012, so we called it modified central paradigm of material science and engineering. And if you go to the other one, you can see, so this is a very useful one from Olson. You can see here that the properties and performance are very closely related. You can go for goals and meaning, and you can go from cause and effect in a different direction. So you link property, structure, processing, structure, properties, and performance. But still is a missing link here. And what it is the sustainability link or the recycling and reutilization that you have it in the. So this is our modified central paradigm of material science engineering, is a circle. So here, what is included here, it is recyclability and reuse. So this is the link, the sustainability link that we included. Now, Professor Rodrigo Martins has dealt all his life with material science and engineering, so he might speak better with it. Probably this definition has been already, he has been using it without even defining it, but I'm pretty sure because it has been all his life. And I remember his presentation at SIPS 2014 in Cancun, Mexico. That was dedicated to Dan Shetman, Nobel laureate in chemistry. He was one of the best exactly in this point of view, in the role of materials in the world. So that's up for me, and I leave the word to Professor Martins.
As you're saying, Dr. Florian, it's first of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Rodrigo Martins. It's a pleasure of having you here, really, especially because we speak the same language, Portuguese. You are in Lisbon. The accent is a little different for the ones who don't know, but it's a great honor to have such a relevant scientist in our program today. So before we start, I'd like to introduce our guest tonight. Rodrigo Martins is a full professor in Material Science Department of Faculty of Science and Technology of the New University of Lisbon, a fellow of the Portuguese Engineering Academy since 2009, and a member of the European Academy of Science since 2016. He was decorated with the Gold Medal of Merit and Distinction by the Almada municipality for his R&D achievements. Currently, he is the director of the Center of Excellence in Microelectronics and Optoelectronics Processes of the Institute of New Technologies, CEMOP UNINOVA, and the head of Group of Materials for Electronics, Optoelectronics, and Nanotechnologies, MEON of CENIMAT, EN. President of the European Academy of Sciences, member of the Advisory Board of Horizons 2020 on DG Research and Innovation, and chair of the European Committee Affairs of European Materials Research Society, chair of the Global Leadership and Service Award, and there's much more. If I keep reading here, we are going to be like an hour speaking. So the full bio is here on the link underneath. So thank you very much, Dr. Rodrigo, for being here with us and for talking with us about the Alario Franco International Symposium on Solid State Chemistry. Good evening. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. So good evening also to all of you. And of course, I'm very aligned with what we just heard from Professor Florian. Indeed, I just would like to add something. I'm also the current president of International Union of Material Research Society, which is a global association that involves 14 societies spread over all the world. So in Europe, in Brazil, my vice president is from Brazil, from São Paulo, not from Rio de Janeiro. And he may become the next president 2 years from now. But anyhow, what is very important, just to summarize, is that whatever the progress that you make, whatever the field where you are involved, the activator and the accelerator of the transformations that we have in the world are the materials. And they are really the ones that are the basis for making all the transformations that we want, and as Professor Florian said, for the welfare and comfort of the people. So science must be for something. And I used to say that there are no party of science and technology without materials, because materials are everywhere and we need for all the type of transformation. So what we are speaking here is how we can make it things happen. We have been living so far until today in a open loop perspectives as far as science is concerned. So we try to see how beautiful science is made, and we don't care about what are the impacts of we are doing and developing. Just for a very simple example that I can give you, all the electronics that we are using today, they are based on this silicon technology. Silicon is the most abundant material. It's the fantastic material. It's the king of the kings, and we need it. Why? Because for all this type of interfaces and communications that we need to make, we need the electronics. So the interfaces that are between us and whatever we want we need an electronic interface. And this is, by sure, based on silicon. And so what we have to create is just to have this scenario. When we speak about sustainability, sustainability means that what I'm trying to do is to process materials and not in an open loop. So not exploiting and try to take profit of them, and that's it. And then you put it in the landfill, whatever you want. So we create and regenerate what we call this electronic waste. And this electronic waste, what has been happening so far is that we export it. And as soon as we get more people with more comfort, larger and larger will be the amount of electronic waste that we are producing. Therefore, it means that we are in a deadlock. And if the materials, as Professor Florian said, are not recyclable, which means that if I cannot, or the technology that I use are very expensive, this means that I'm in a deadlock. And when we speak in silicon, to make silicon happen, to dope the silicon, what we need to have very high temperatures, 1200 degrees centigrade. And moreover, to dope, to control the properties of the silicon, we need to have a very specific environment. So we need to use clean room facilities and also very, very aggressive gases like phosphine or diborane. They are very, very toxic and also very, very explosive. So it means that this is what we say not sustainable. Why? Because not only because they are putting in danger our planet, but because not all the technology is not available for all the people. So I'm speaking about Brazil. With all the respect that I have by Brazil, I have to say that the first clean room that was installed in Brazil, it was in the 80s through our RCA, and it was in São Paulo. And because it's quite expensive, the cost related. Now you have several ones spread over all the Brazil, but they are very expensive. And moreover, I cannot recycle the silicon. The technology is not affordable for all. When we say about sustainability, we are speaking about globalization, not only with the impact that we must have on the things that we are producing, but also on the cost of the technology. And as I told you, I'm using a material that is very abundant. It's the most abundant material in the earth, but very hard to be recycled. And moreover, to process, I have to use very high temperatures. This means that I have to use very high energy. So when we speak also in sustainability, we have to look about technologies, and these technologies must be affordable and very easy to be done. So we must migrate from physical-based process to chemical-based processes, synthesis of materials. And moreover, of course, as we have a scarcity of materials, and because we want to give, as Professor Florian said, comfort to all, it means that I will use and exploit more and more materials. This is absolutely normal, because the paradigm that we have today is how we can fuel the ambitions of the people in the Asia, in China, in Brazil, in Africa. Why? And this is not just for elite. This is for all the people. So we must have how we can make it happen for all the people. And in this respect, it means that we have to look for technologies with much less energy. And moreover, I need also to reduce the amount of materials that I use. So I have to go for a nanoscale, because I will reduce the amount of material, because if a nanoscale, I can make a device that is the same specifications at a microscale. I will reduce by more than 3 orders of magnitude the amount of material that I need for this. And therefore, this is sustainability, because I'm reducing the amount and making the same comfort. It's not killing the things. It's not just as some people said, okay, now we go 1,000 years below. No, we have to keep the same standards of life and try to exploit. And this is why chemical is very, very important. How the synthesis of materials is very important, because this is affordable. And we try to mimic the nature. So when I try to mimic the nature and to synthesize this material, this is very important. And this is why solid state chemistry is so important, because I can not only synthesize new materials using very low technologies, affordable for all the people, but also because I have another very key goal, is that the amount of energy that I will use is by far different. And I can also modify, I can design the materials of the future. And this means that I can go from the complexity that I have for instance, in an integrated circuit, and I make this complexity simpler if I can exploit better the performances of materials. I can use all type of materials. For instance, if I burn the surface of a paper, I can make graphene. And so if I can control the way how I burn it, this means that this graphene is very good conductor, and I can make and design the circuits on paper. And paper is a millennial material that I can recycle and I can reuse and reutilize whatever I want. And in this respect, it means that we have to open a landscape, a new landscape where we can make it this. And I'm very proud to be a friend of Alario. He is a fellow of my academy. And I'm very proud because the Nobel Prize this year in chemistry is a fellow of my academy. And I have also the fellow of the European Research Council. I used to be a member. I'm a former member of the Scientific Council of the European Research Council. It's the best scientific council in the world, because we try to look for talents, whatever they are. We don't look for nationalities, but we want to bring them to Europe. And,
very good.
And we are looking for this type of approaches. And Professor Alario, that also was a former president of the Real Academy of Spain, is now a member of the European Academy of Science.
Yes.
He has been devoted all his life to this type of chemistry, synthesize new materials, and trying to see what is the pathway for the future. And moreover, he also has had a very fantastic action as far as education is concerned in Spain that also impact in the European strategy. I have just to say that he ran in the past for a position to be director of the of the Spanish university. So he's someone that is really involved on how bring science close to education, because we need these transformations. And what Professor Florian said is that we need why we need this pilot of education, because if you are looking for a strategy of the future, you know, typically the universities, as I am working today, they are very essential, because in the past the idea is to give the flexibility to us, to our mentality, and to think to the challenges of the future. So that is quite conventional. And you have the pillars of education is physics, chemistry, and mathematics. And this gives you the flexibility to think and to act. But today, there are another dimension that it was said on the pillars that Professor Florian said, is how I can take profit of what I'm discovering, what I'm developing. So this is the entrepreneur spirit that we have. This is something that the Americans have a lot. The Europeans don't have too much. this type of spirit. But this is something that we need to know, and also to prepare the people not to take profit of what they are discovered, but also to change the mindset. Because if we are so progress as far as science is concerned, this means that we are beyond what is conventional and traditional at university. So you must also, on this sustainable concept that I agree with what Professor Florian said, we have to go further. And this means that we have to educate on the frontiers of knowledge. And of course, as we are looking for science for something, science for an application for the comfort of the people, it means that also this will impact on the governance structure. Why? Because they must decide it based on scientific evidence and not for political reasons only. It's because when we take a position, it's very important. Of course, politicians are important.
Exactly.
You have had elections now 2 weeks ago or something like that. But
yes,
the point is that the decisions that they have to make is to take as a first step how they will impact on the citizens, how they will impact on the prosperity, how they will impact on the comfort. And this is to be made not because I want to make money, too much money, as Professor Florian said, but because this will really be relevant for a strategy of comfort for that all will benefit from this. So it is very important to look for all this type of approaches that we can have in the world. And I believe that we are moving on this direction in Europe. We are creating the conditions for this, and I'm very proud that to honor someone that is been devoting to in an outstanding manner for all these actions concerning the synthesis of material. And that's it. That I believe that it will be an exit, a very important event. And I just appeal.
Excellent. Dr. Florian, basically, among other things, Dr. Rodrigo Martins went through in a very detailed way in the sustainability framework. I mean, all the aspects of the sustainability framework. And then I get to one point that you always say, somebody one day decided to divide science in many aspects. But this only made things more difficult because, as he himself said, and you've said many times, you get mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, I mean, everything together. You have science and medicine. Medicine is not science. So, I mean, SIPS, what is the magic of doing this, of getting all of them together in 50 symposia, over 50 symposia that have a 360 degrees approach on science? I mean, from the aspect of physics, of mathematics, I mean, everybody together talking about science, finding a way, looking for a way for sustainability. Is that the magic of SIPS?
I guess so. You mentioned it. Professor Martin also mentioned that. So, you have a physical use of silica, so you have to explore chemical processing of silica for recycling. You need mathematics for modeling. So this is just some part of the things, but because of ignorance, that is always has been my theory. We divided science in different fields or even subfields. For example, inorganic chemistry with organic chemistry. So they went apart for a long time. Physics went apart from chemistry for centuries, and there have been so many. Medicine went apart. So today we have Academy of Medicine and Academy of Sciences. So the only names means that one of them is not the other. For example, medicine is not science, and science is not medicine, which doesn't make sense. So that's why SIPS brings together about 50 international symposia in specific different fields. But bringing them, they are separately, they go in separate fields. There's a separate symposium like solid state chemistry, but we are in the same roof with a symposium on mathematics, a symposium of chemistry, symposium of metal processing, of starting from mining, because 360 degrees, we start from geology, mining, mineral processing, metal extraction, metal refining, new materials, advanced materials, nanomaterials, nanotechnology, smart materials, intelligent materials, you name it. And why medicine is there, because today medicine is not, it cannot be, it cannot function without materials, new technologies, ITs, and also electronics that Professor Martins mentioned, that is his specialty. So there is no modern medicine today. 90% of medicine today comes from physics, chemistry, IT, electronics, etc. So that's why this year we have three very successful medical related symposia: oxidative stress, new technologies in medicine, and COVID related issues, and what can we do in the future. So these are all in the same roof, and this is the 60 degrees. That's the magic of SIPS, and that's where new cooperation projects between different fields of science, between different countries, between different disciplines are are start at SIPS. Start at SIPS. Why? Because they are in the same field, and the real life is multidimensional. There is no only chemistry, physics part. So we don't think it this way. But as I mentioned previously, if we send a person in a different planet, we have to think and manage all these different aspects, starting from minerals, analyzing the minerals, testing the minerals, materials properties, developing new materials, withstanding the heat, electronics for communication, and legal aspect. That's why you have a legal symposium dedicated to a famous Washington, D.C. lawyer this time in Phuket. You have to deal, the government's, it's by the way, government and law is always one step behind science. But they are important because they determine the framework, political and legal framework, in order science not to be used in the wrong direction against humanity, like has been using in the past. For example, Nobel, Alfred Nobel in, developed the dynamite for mining, but it was used for the as an explosive in the world. So scientific development can be used for good and for bad, but is a framework from government and legal. That's why you have them all in SIPS. So in one roof, 360 degrees, and this creates those conditions that when we say normally, in order to succeed in science, you have to fail 10 times, and you can succeed in the 11th time, which is actually it's not a failure, but that's the expression. By being in contact with so many different people of very different disciplines, the chances are that instead of trying 10 times and succeed on the 11th time, you can try less 5 times and succeed on the 6th, because you have the input of so many people like Professor Martins that have been. Professor Martin is really unique, to tell the truth, because he is so active in all these societies, in all this Academy of Science, and he has. That's why I mentioned the 3 pillars. He is in all of them, government and management, because of this, very involved in various societies and various government bodies. Not in politics, though, not yet probably. But I think his wife is going to go in politics. So the education, he educates the young generation, and at the foremost, he is a researcher developing new materials and new technologies for the. So that's basically SIPS. That's the magic of SIPS. To respond to your question, was the magic. So basically, everything falls in this definition for sustainability framework. Everything falls there. Legal falls there. You name it. So all it is, the criteria are 3 pillars, are very concise. Science and technology includes everything. We need to go. We need to develop new things. We have to pass the frontiers, as Professor Martin said, all the time. Otherwise, we don't have new science and technology. science and technology is pushing the frontiers ahead. But also we have to have the governance and management in order to make sure that the achievement in science are not used against humanity, which is our three criteria. It's environmental protection, social development, quality of human life, and also economic development. So they have both because they help each other. So that's why it's important this symposium and important of having Professor Martins because he's a synthesis of these three pillars.
Very good. Now, before we continue, we were talking about the importance of the Academy of Science and Technology, and I would like to show a video here of why Nobel laureates participate. Not before Nobel laureates, why academics participate of SIPS, and then I'm going to show another video specifically about Nobel laureates. Okay.
They combine science, engineering, and fun.
Here they talk science, they talk engineering, they talk technology.
And indeed the very relations between the science, the engineers and the politicians. That is a framework which is absolutely essential.
It's very important for me to understand how interact, let's say, the science with the sustainability and the social responsibility.
What I really enjoy about the SIPS conferences is that they bring scientists from every discipline together. And we always have plenary speakers that are Nobel Prize winners. And so it's very nice for even the youngest scientists starting out to hear a lecture by such figures. It's very inspiring.
Où on trouve simultanément des vrais scientifiques, simultanément des vrais ingénieurs et simultanément des vrais entrepreneurs. Et c'est des mondes qui ne se rencontrent pas normalement, malheureusement. Là, le fait que l'organisation de SIPS permet de discuter, de comprendre les problèmes de l'autre et peut-être d'avoir une solution ou simplement de mieux comprendre pour le futur, c'est important.
SIPS is an outstanding organization. It's an outstanding family and it's very unique. There is no other one that I know of like this. It has been very, very useful in establishing very successful collaborations.
I think that one of the things that people enjoy the most is the ability to interact with each other, to learn from each other. And I think that that's a very important part of your conference, is for them to be able to learn each other's expertise and each other's opinions.
I need to say my general impression is very nice. I was surprised how many people, how many important people came here, how many people arrived. I've been to quite a lot of presentations, seen presentations from different fields, from law to chemistry. I have a good impression and I'm impressed.
The companies and the universities collaboration this is a necessary condition to improve for future development of the technology.
I think that will have a big contribution for the community that must be completely involved with these topics. I congratulate with the Flogen Technology for this event. High level congratulations for this initiative.
Yeah, I have a very good impression. So it's a very nice combination between general presentations by inviting really significant experts, not only Nobel Prize winners, but also very important and famous scientists to the plenary lectures. The impression this is a good way to emphasize research on sustainability, energy resources, and find methods to save energy or even techniques to renew the energy.
Sorry, my mic was. There is a lot more video. I'm going to leave the link here to watch the full video. But we saw many colleagues of yours, Dr. Rodrigo, many academics talking about SIPS, an event that has been happening since 2003 and that has gone all over the world. Dr. Florian, correct me, but Turkey, China, Mexico, Brazil, Cyprus, Thailand, I mean, an infinity of countries, and always people from different backgrounds, people from different realities, from different structures, different, I mean, a diversity, it was said in one of these programs, a diversity of scientists exchanging ideas. How good, I mean, what is the difference that this makes in the creation and the creativity process, in the scientific process, Dr. Rodrigo?
I think this is a good opportunity because, as it was pointed out, we cannot live in isolated clusters. So it means that we have to interpenetrate with other ideas, with other concepts, with other disciplines. And this is a moment where we can make science networking, aiming to impact further in what we are doing, in order that I will see always the bottle not full, empty, not empty, but also trying to make it full with the new ideas and the new concepts. And this is also very important. When you cross synergies, it means that you don't see the image always with the same eyes, that a doctor saw the same, or a physics saw, or electronics engineer saw. So when you have this networking of science, of high-level networking of science that aims to express the best that we have, you gain, because you see the same image, but treated in different ways. A doctor, for instance, see and takes profit how I can use the materials or for therapy applications, or I can see, for instance, how I can create new strategies when we speak about substitution of critical materials, how I can substitute silicon by, for instance, metal oxide or organic semiconductors that make the same performance as in the past, you expending much less energy or much less money to make the same. So on these aspects, I have to cross-cutting engineering thinking, and also to basic science, and also with the prospects for the future, without forgetting the social impact, so humanities aspects. Of course, we have to respect the law, whatever we do. And this is the type of mix that we need for the future, this type of cross fields, cross-fertilization, networking on science at high level. This is what I think Professor Florian aims to promote. And this is positive when we hear things from different aspects. So this is very important.
Very good. Dr. Florian, we are 17 days away from SIPS. And I usually say that P stands for paradise. Yes, you always choose all these editions of SIPS since 2003 were held in beautiful places. I mean, and besides being beautiful, very practical, very practical, and very focused on results. Yes, you really work. Sometimes I was even talking these days that we go to a place like this and we don't have time to go to the beach. It's incredible. Yes. And I would like to show, before you make a comment on that, I want to show where SIPS is going to take place. SIPS and the 50th Symposium, the Hilton Phuket Arcadia, a magnificent hotel like all the other ones. And I want you to comment about the package. What can you expect in terms of hospitality and meals and all that? Okay, we'll be right back right after this 30-second video. Dr. Florian, I know that during from the 27th of November to the 1st of December, people will have very little time to go to the beach to visit Phuket, but it's a paradise. Have you prepared anything special for anybody who wants to arrive a little before or stay some days later?
Yeah, that's always to do that. I mean, it's a healthy competition. Going to the swimming pool, going to the beach, or staying to the technical sessions. And actually, most of the people stay to the technical sessions. That's why, because it's so interesting. We have so many interviews. The Jean-Marie Dubois, professor from in Jean Lamour Institute in France, once said, it's very difficult to convince people that we are working from 7 a.m. in the morning to 11 p.m. at night here in this paradise. João Ricardo, the politician from Brazil, he mentioned that, mind you, in the gala, I've not been in the swimming pool, I've not been on the beach, I've been following this symposia. Some of them that not in my field as a doctor, as a medical doctor, but he was interesting to use those. So there's a healthy competition. That's why we offer people up to 5 days before and 5 days after to stay for vacation if they want. So in order to enjoy both in a sustainable way, both of them, science, technology, develop new idea and projects, but also enjoy, since we choose the best place in the world for science and engineering. And Professor Martins knows very well. He was our plenary speaker in Cancun 2014. And I remember his lecture was one of the powerful one, actually, making the case of materials. And I'm sure he enjoyed Pieza Americana Condesa Hotel that we organized there. Is this correct, Professor Martin?
Yes, absolutely correct. I was there with my wife. My wife now is Minister of Science and Technology and Higher Education. I was there with her and with my doctor, and we really today still we think about how you could manage to bring all together. And it was fantastic because I remember it was during the World Cup football, and so we could drink in Cancun some caipirinhas.
Very good.
In the bar.
And we are going
in
to
the
be in the
bar,
World Cup also in Phuket.
Yeah.
The World Cup is going to start on the 20th.
Yeah, but anyhow, I think it's fantastic, and I believe this is something very, very well aligned. I have to say that I will be during the G7 meeting because the G7 they invited my academy, and I represent the European Academy be there, and the topic of the discussion, of course, they are the most powerful countries in the world, but is One Health Planet, and this is what is to do with because we don't have Planet B, and the idea is to see how we can all the decisions that they aim to do, they want also to be supported by science evidence, and they want us to advise them what could be the best strategy to them
Very
to put
good.
and to bet. And I believe they somehow this type of event aims to bring together an approach similar to this. That is my first approach to G7. I never was there, but I also would like to see how and this is a great conquer from all of us, because means that the politicians are taking care about what science means for the future.
Very good, Doctor.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
It is indeed. And Dr. Florian, we were talking today earlier that SIPS. I don't know. This is a question I've been. I don't know why I haven't asked you this question yet. But how does it feel to have SIPS as a legacy to the world? Because we were talking today earlier on that a project in Brazil that is going to be launched officially at SIPS. Yes, I don't know if I could talk about this, but mentioning exactly this sustainability framework that has been developed by Flogen, how it affects communities and the echoes of SIPS Rio de Janeiro in 2018. I mean, they're starting to develop even legal, practical aspects of laws, thinking of the preservation of the environment. For the ones who don't know, before I ask this question, Brazil has 6 biomes. Everybody talks about the Amazon in the world, but the Amazon is the best preserved biome. Yes, 82% of 82% of the Amazon is preserved. Yes, and we have Caatinga, Pantanal, the Pampas, yes, the Cerrado, and also the Atlantic rainforest. In the area of Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, Minas, yes, this area here, only 10% is preserved, Dr. Florian. And now I've heard that a program, an environmental protection program that is connected to the production of agricultural, of vegetables, greengrocers and organic vegetables and all that, with the preservation of the forest and with the help of the public power, was based on your framework. How does it feel, to have SIPS effective, not only being theory, because you always say 98% of science stays at the university, at the academia. How does it feel to see this framework, to see a legacy, a sustainable legacy of SIPS really happening and changing the communities, changing the society, changing the world?
Yes, because SIPS links fundamentals with application. Without application, we don't have sustainability. So it could be a near term, could be long term, but we try to shorten the distance. Science sometimes it serves a very future generation. Some of the discovery can be used 100 years from now. The issue is there's nothing wrong with that. The issue is that what we are developing today to find the application and to serve the society. So SIPS is oriented toward applicability because we have that's why sustainability as a sustainable processing summit, or sustainability through science and technology. So this is being so oriented toward the applicability, but without forgetting basic science, because all are related, all are the two sides of one medal. But the question is to pass the value of death and to apply them. And then in this point of view, we'll feel so happy that our sustainability framework is being adopted in real. Why? Because we clarify things. Even today you hear politicians, it's environmental sustainability. It doesn't make any sense. Environmental sustainability. Sustainability, environment is part of sustainability. It's one of the criteria of sustainability. And then they say we will be based our decision in science. But then when you go deep, this is just a lip service. For example, they say, well, where it was based, the decision of Germany to close down all nuclear reactors? They say Germany is the first, it is failure of the whole political class in Germany because the decision was not 0% based on science, because all scientific evidence is against it. The nuclear reactors are clean energy. They have only 2 drawbacks, which is the waste and the risk, but these are managed by science. And if you saw the data, we have been dealing with about this in our energy symposium since 10 years now. If they would have heard us, they would not have closed the nuclear reactors. So their decision first was not based on science, because we have a full study that there is nothing wrong, even on the risk compared to other forms of energy in nuclear. But on the other side, they ignore the science to give a solution. If there is a problem with waste, the science dealing with it. To recycle is sustainable. It's a problem with risk, science deal with it. So it's a failure, it's double failure. So, easy to say I base the decision on science, but then you go in the opposite direction. That's what happened with Germany. Besides, there is a very strange in Germany, besides the Green Party. The Green Party in Germany, normally the Green Party are against nuclear reactors, but not Reinhard Bütikofer, the chair of the Green Party. He warned the political class not to close down the nuclear reactors. No, and today everybody agrees, but he was alone, and the Green Party in Germany did that. And we are proud to that we have honored Reinhard Bütikofer, the head of the Green Party, with Frey International Sustainability Award in 2011. 11 years
Two
before.
programs ago we talked about it, right?
Yes, exactly. So we honored it. We found
Professor
him,
Dodds.
Yeah, we found him a leader in sustainability. So we honored him 11 years before, and today everybody accepts it. He was the only one. His party actually.
Exactly.
It's a little bit strange because the Green Party are against, they are a little bit going against the nuclear reactors and so on. But not that. It was the only political party that was against, and everybody accepts it. Well, not everybody accepts it. The political, the wife of Professor Martins is not because it's coming from science, but politicians coming from science, sometimes they say things, they do not do things as it should, and then they say, okay, we're based on science, but they do not follow science. And then when something happens, there is no politician in Germany coming into this saying, okay, sorry, we're wrong. They make it like, okay, something in the past.
It's part of the game, let's say.
It's part of the game.
Continuing here, I would like to ask Dr. Rodrigo about what we should expect on the symposium. But before that, I will show a quick video here, 30-second video also about the symposium itself, about the Alario Franco International Symposium, okay? And then I would like you to answer this, what we should expect in terms of lectures and in terms of scientific works to be presented. So let's see the video.
I think you have the wrong one. It's a related advanced materials, but it's not Alario Franco.
Wow,
Alario Franco.
I've got it.
You
here.
have it.
Alario
You have
Franco.
it.
Yeah, my mistake here then.
You have it.
But let's see what we have. Dr. Rodrigo, what can we talk about the symposium?
Yeah, okay. As I said before, I believe that it could be a success because the idea is to exploit the material synthesis where chemistry is the tool that we need to promote all this type of reactions and try to see how they could real impact in different topics in different areas, going from transportation, even how we can synthesize new reinforcing materials or to the health, as it was said. Also, how it will impact on the new field and the new era of green chemistry, and also how this could be beneficiary for the developments and the creativity that we have for the future. Namely, it is not only important elder people to discuss, but also younger guys to take comfort and in a very nice atmosphere to exchange ideas, to promote concepts, and to think how beautiful science is when we really love it. And I believe this could be the right place where you can discuss. And I hope to all of that will be there could impact and have all these type of perspectives for the future.
So that's the key. That's
just in order to correct my mistake, I'm going to show now the Alario Franco Symposium.
Yeah, just before that, this
okay,
is
go
the
ahead.
key what Professor Martin said. That science is beautiful when we like it.
Oh no, this is beautiful.
These are golden words.
Yeah, this is really life-changing. So just to show the right video now. Now it was the Alario
That's
Franco,
right,
the Alario Franco symposium.
Vince.
There are 50 symposiums, Dr. Florian, and they look alike here in the list. So I got
Yeah,
it
well,
wrong.
we have one
And
for
this is
each.
what makes SIPS so impressive.
Yeah.
50 symposium with 600 of, I mean, some of the greatest minds in the world. I usually say this: 600 scientific presentations. Scientists, politicians, businessmen, executives from over 80 countries, and in this list we can highlight 9 Nobel Prizes. Is it the event in the world with the highest number of Nobel Prizes, Dr. Florian?
In its category, yes, sure. It is in science and technology, yes.
I see.
So it is not it's not you know when it is only a meeting of only Nobel Prize is a different story. But that's I think it's a record.
Okay. Well, we are getting to the end of our show. I would like to
but
have.
You have it also why the Nobel laureates participate.
Yeah. This will be the last video I'll show.
Yeah, okay.
Why Nobel laureates participate. But I would like to have your final considerations. Yes, Dr. Florian and Dr. Rodrigo. Yes, but I will start with Dr. Rodrigo, your final considerations. Thank you very much. A little over 2 weeks from SIPS. It's an honor to have you here, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in Phuket.
Yeah, I hope that all that will go there, and also the outstanding panelists that will be involved on this event will be quite relevant for the advances that we want on science and how we can really have in a place where we can exchange ideas to create new concepts and also to promote science to the extreme. To go further, we need talents, and I believe that this is what you will meet 2 weeks from now. And I will be thinking that this will be also very fantastic. You can also have, as it was said, some relaxed times to see the World Cup on the news and see how Brazil will make it, or Portugal. Why not?
Exactly. And I hope Cristiano Ronaldo.
Our score is more on science. More on science, and I believe this is also our game. Science is our game. Thank you, and the best for all of you.
Very good. And I hope Cristiano Ronaldo's, if Portugal meet Brazil in the World Cup, Cristiano doesn't destroy Brazil. Let's keep it as distant as possible. He's like a great player. So, Dr. Florian, you're not, well, you are a carioca, Dr. Florian, an honorary carioca, but you have to have the yellow blood of the World Cup of football going through your veins.
Yeah. Well, so we'll enjoy there. You know, it will be. It's a good thing that it doesn't clash with the symposium and the summit, and it's during the night. So it's a very good thing. And as honorary carioca, I mean, the only one that was voted as by the legislator of the city of Rio de Janeiro to become. I feel proud to be an honorary citizen of Rio de Janeiro. So I'll have that, you know, yellow thing there during the night. So the issue is that how long we will be able to hold during the matches there, and then be sustainable and come up and the next day in the technical and scientific sessions. I think this is our challenge of sustainability. So basically, we'll have Ronaldo there like a supporter for us.
Very good. Very
you
good.
know, it's we are expecting to have a very good time. It's a top class program. Especially we have, let's say we have about 50 medical doctors, most of them from Japan. It's a very strong participation from medical doctors. So we are approaching Academy of Science with Academy of Medicine. So they shouldn't be separate, by the way, but that's how it is. So where everyone is welcome to participate. It's not a show of some persons, and the others are just spectators. It is a show of everyone. Everyone is invited to present anything they like, they hold dear, any discovery, any new development, any new technologies, even an experience of something that does not work. We are open for everything. We don't take part. We don't take part in politics. We are neutral. We don't take part in technologies, saying that this technology is better than this or this theory is better than this. We provide the platform without any censorship, as long as it's science for sure, because it's a scientific, scientific summit and conference. So everybody is welcome. No prejudgment of any field or any discovery or anything. So it's open to anyone, and it's open to participate, to be an actor, not a spectator. So SIPS is a party of actors, not spectators. So it's still time to participate, to submit an abstract. It's very strict though. We are sending the program to print, but today or tomorrow, but still we can accommodate after, and to participate is open. Registration is free. Even you can register on site. We don't prefer that because we want to avoid the crowdy people coming there and registering, but we are open for everything. So we are looking forward to a very excited time honoring Professor Alario Franco, but all other honorees, and having 9 Nobel laureates, which come there because specific reason that you can show.
And one of the Nobel laureates will speak about something that Dr. Rodrigo Martins spoke today about entrepreneurship, right? Professor Dan Shedman from Israel is going to talk about this. Because although he's a chemistry Nobel laureate, he has specialized in entrepreneurship, the science of entrepreneurship.
Exactly, technological entrepreneurship, not in general. What he's focusing, entrepreneurship in technology, technological entrepreneurship, and he considers this is one of the key factors in a peaceful world.
It's a way of keeping more than 1 or 2% of the scientific work out of the academia, right? Trying to raise the bar, right?
Yeah, well,
you've done it with the framework. Let's try to do with the other.
We have
things.
3 categories of Nobel laureates: Nobel laureate in chemistry, Nobel laureate in physics, Nobel laureate in medicine. They are almost 1/3 each are representing the 3 fields.
And you have one in peace also, because Dr. João Ricardo is Doctors Without Borders, and they are Nobel laureate in peace.
Exactly, and he's also a politician.
Yeah, he's also
here. So Professor Rodrigo is in a family of politicians now. So
yes, very good.
So
okay, guys. Thank you very much for your audience.
Just a second. Are you able to influence your wife's political agenda?
No.
Oh, I don't hear you.
Your microphone is muted, doctor.
No, I said that no. It's only policy.
She influences more you, or you influences more on the scientific side.
No. We share. No. We share. We discuss things, but I don't discuss politicians.
Very good. Very good.
So I mean, next year, probably we should invite her in Punta Cana or in Panama.
Okay.
You and her come together. A repeat of Cancun in 2014. Actually, almost 10 years later.
That's it. Very good.
And I see Professor Martin. He's much healthier today, because in 2014 you lost weight. You are correct.
Absolutely.
So it's much healthier, because that time he was a heavyweight.
Okay.
Well, okay, guys, that's it. We are getting to the end of SIPS of Science. I would like to thank everybody for your audience, and I would like to suggest you also to subscribe to the channel and just get a thumbs up on this video. Share it with your friends, especially that one that enjoys science, technology, and the addition of this, helping sustainability, helping the world become a better place. I'm Mario Linhares. I'm broadcasting from Cabo Frio, Brazil. And I'm saying goodbye to Dr. Florian in Montreal, Canada, and Dr. Rodrigo Martins in Lisbon, Portugal. I'm going to show a video now. It's a 5-minute video. So about why Nobel laureates participate at SIPS. That's it. Next week, we'll see each other on Thursday, 10 p.m. GMT, here with another SIPS of Science. Thank you very much.
Flogen meetings are unique in the sense that they combine science, engineering, and fun.
Here they talk science, they talk engineering, they talk technology.
And indeed the very relations between the science, the engineers and the politicians. That is a framework which is absolutely essential.
It's very important for me to understand how interact, let's say, the science with the sustainability and the social responsibility.
I really enjoy going to meetings when there are people from various backgrounds and disciplines because I learn a lot and I make a lot of new friends, and sometimes we end up working together and collaborating. And when you bring people together with different backgrounds and different interests, you create new technology and directions, and that's very important. So I'm in favor of that. I think that's very, very important. And I've had a good time here. I've learned a lot. It's a wonderful, beautiful place, and I will come back the next time, I'm sure.
Okay, normally we have scientific conferences just for physicists, and here more engineers are present. And as you pointed out, we have so many problems in the world, and engineers finally need some recognition that they are only possible to solve problems. And since sustainability is one of the focus of this conference, this is a very important topic to be recognized, and that also the industry becomes aware about that some business models will not work in the future anymore.
You know, here I think I have seen a rather unique way of organizing a meeting, very much at one with the philosophy of the meeting, that sustainability is incredibly important for the human race in general, and pressing away at the importance of having scientists and technologists at the helm. How do we get science and technology into the agenda of our political masters?
And science and technology and people who are behind that, they are underappreciated. Your conference is very important in this respect. It was a good reminder that what keeps us going on, why we still didn't destroy the planet. It's science, it's not the design, it's not politicians who created this comfortable community, but science and technology. And SIPS is a reminder for this.
And more than that, it was not only interesting to listen to the people, but also to meet them and have private discussions. So we had enough time for private discussion. So I think it was a very good meeting. The dignitaries were more than in past years, more Nobel laureates. So that was a very interesting meeting. And of course, the setting here in Paphos is wonderful.
The breadth of the conference, it covers such a wide variety of fields. Often international conferences are focused on a few topics and so on. But this covers the gamut, covers a lot of work of industrial interest and work of academic interest. So it's a very broad coverage, and certainly this is a wonderful environment to hold it in. So I think the breadth of the subjects for an international conference is one of the things that stands out.
I want to thank you for inviting me, which got me in contact with a new group of people. I think mostly engineers, but also scientists. I was impressed by the high quality of the talks.
This is somewhat different because in the other organization I did see more scientists and more decision makers, policy makers. And here you do have more engineers and more enterprises and industry people are here. So it's kind of interesting, and I admire you working on the sustainability.